consultations with all relevant groups designed to find a lasting solution to the farmers' herders conflict. The move followed his visit to Adamawa State on the 5th of December 2017 in the wake of the communal clashes in the area. Hosting a group of traditional rulers at the presidential villa, Abuja, the vice president said the consultation was to seek ways of ending farmers-herdsmen clashes. He, alongside his visitors, condemned the acts of violence that has occurred, especially the killing of children and women, and highlighted the need for law enforcement and other government agencies to perform their constitutional roles. In attendance, the Emir of Kano, Muhammadu Sanusi II, the Lamido of Adamawa, Muhammadu Bakindo, Aliyu Mustafa, and other leaders of the Fulani communities. In the meantime, President Muhammadu Buhari is expected to commission the largest school for people living with disabilities in Nasarawa State. Governor Tanko Almakura disclosed this after a closed-door meeting with the Chief of Staff to President Abba Kyari at the Presidential Villa, Abuja, Tuesday. Almakura said the special school will cater for the education of people living with disabilities in the entire north-central region of the country.
And the most sensitive that we think the people need to be considered for. One has to do with the comprehensive special school for people with disability.
According to the governor, President Buhari will also flag the almost completed Nasarawa State Cargo Airport during his visits to the state.
That school is like a premier institution which can admit people not only within Nasarawa or North Central Zone, but all over the country. And what is more, that is for free. And this we have decided to do in line with Mr. President's focus and vision and the manifestos of our party.
Governor Almakura maintained that he was in the villa to fine-tune the planned visit of President Buhari to his state. And now the appeal court in Abuja has nullified the acquittal ruling of the Code of Conduct Tribunal handed down in favor of Senate President Dr. Bukola Saraki in June this year. Delivering a unanimous judgment in the appeal filed by the federal government against the Senate President's acquittal, the three-man panel of the Court of Appeal, headed by Justice Tinuadi Akomolafe Wilson, dismissed 15 out of 18 counts filed before the CCT on the grounds of lack of evidence. But the court ruled that Saraki, the former governor of Kwara State, had a case to answer with respect to 3 of the counts numbered 4, 5, and 6. With Tuesday's judgment of the Court of Appeal, Saraki will now return to the CCT to open his defense in respect of the 3 counts. Following the ruling, both the defendant and prosecution counsel gave their take on this latest development.
We need to get copies of that judgment, and we review it, and then we will decide exactly what is best to be done in the circumstances.
Well, it's neither for me or for the appellant, nor for the respondent. Is fitry to them and partly fitry to us. So what is important is that at least there's a finding that the Code of Conduct was wrong and that the case should go back to that court. So that is major thing that is important.
Meanwhile, Galaxy's Godfrey Shemuge reports that a statement from Saraki's media office says the Senate President will appeal the verdict at the Supreme Court. And now the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has charged Nigerians to see the fight against corruption as collective responsibility in order to free the country from the shackles of underdevelopment. As a way of enlisting the support of more Nigerians into the ongoing anti-corruption crusade, the Ibadan Zonal Office of the Anti-Graft Commission organized an enlightenment campaign in Ibadan in conjunction with other civil society groups. The head of the Ibadan Zonal Office of the Commission, Akaniyene Zima, says the Commission remains committed to the anti-corruption crusade of the Buhari-led administration.
I agree with you that the present administration has done a very good deal to stamp out anti-corruption. And in light of this, we have been working very hard members of the public have been cooperating with us, because corruption is a cankerworm that can kill this country if we don't kill it.
While speaking on the menace of corruption in Nigeria, Izima disclosed that the Commission requires active support and cooperation of all Nigerians, noting that all hands must be on deck if the ongoing crusade must be successful.
There's been renewed vigor in the war against corruption, and the Commission has keyed in as a lead agency in the fight against corruption. And I must say we have done very, very well. And of course, it has not just been us alone. There are lots of stakeholders, members of the public have cooperated, information has been given and has been used, and of course you have seen the results.
Away from that, Oyo State government has highlighted the need for government at all levels to encourage sustainable small-scale farming in the urbanization environment under a very high level of hygienic condition. Speaking at the commencement of training workshop for the youth and gender on safe agriculture practice, Director Planning Research and Statistics, Ministry of Agriculture, Dr. Abbas Bolaon, said that this effort will translate to capacity building of youths on urban agricultural practices and city-based safe agricultural practice.
It's unfortunate that many of our youths today don't want to go back to an occupation that never failed, and that is farming. We're still eager to get white-collar jobs.
In his remark, the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Agriculture and Natural Resources, who was represented at the event by Jide Akintola, maintained that the agricultural policy of the present administration in the state is youth-driven to reposition the sector for better performance.
Permit me to reiterate that it is very sad that Nigerian economy is still experiencing a downward trend. The continuous fall in price of crude oil, a major source of revenue for the country's, has serious implications for the country's economy. Hence, as part of its response to the challenges of economic situation in the state,
he encouraged the participants to make the best out of the training with the intention of contributing their quota to the economic development of the state and Nigeria as a whole. Still to come, Olubadan dismisses threat to depose him. Details of this and other stories when Galaxy News returns. Do stay tuned.